Hold on 1 second,
It's Friday night in London, and we're now just 1 day away from the UFC's first European event of 2018, as the O2 plays host to Saturday's UFC Fight Night 127 Verdum vs. Volkov event. Overnight, we had a bit of bad news as Jack Marchman was ruled medically ineligible to continue his weight cut, and his bout with Bradley Scott was canceled. Marchman promptly apologized for the cancellation and offered to reschedule the contest as quickly as possible, but a frustrated Scott was non-committal immediately following the incident, and his next move is uncertain. After some initial reports that the UFC was declining to compensate Scott for the trouble, he later revealed the organization will pay him $10,000 and look to book him again quickly. This morning started out with a relatively uneventful official weigh-in session. The remaining 22 fighters on the card all made weight without issue, using only 42 minutes of the 2-hour session and without anyone even needing to hide behind a towel. Prior to the evening's ceremonial weigh-ins, the organization made a special announcement that an event on May 27 that was thought to be in Dublin will instead go to Liverpool. It's the promotion's first visit to the city, and native son Darren Till will fight an opponent yet to be determined in the night's main event. The fast-rising welterweight was on hand for the announcement and said it's simply going to be the next step on his path to greatness.
Yeah, that's fun for me. I don't know what to say. Words can't describe it. It doesn't do it justice, words. So it's coming, and I'm going to be the first scout to ever have done it. In 200 years, they're going to remember my name in combat sports in Liverpool. So I'm going to take someone's chin off in Liverpool. That's what's happening.
Till said his first choice would be to fight Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, but that contracts have not been signed just yet. The ceremonial weigh-ins proved a rather spirited affair with a handful of very intense face-offs. Mark Godbeer and Dmitry Sosnovsky went nose-to-nose for a tense few moments, while a painted Paul Craig refused to back away from an amused Magomed Ankalaev. To no one's surprise, Leon Edwards and Peter Sabota had another fire exchange during their time on stage, while Jimmy Manuwa and Jan Blachowicz were less animated, but no less intense. UFC Fight Night 127 headliners Fabricio Verdum and Alexander Volkov have been friendly all week long, so their stare-down wasn't about intensity, but Vaikovalov still tried to make it a little bit entertaining. Bringing a chair on stage, Verdum first looked like he was going to go WWE, but then used it as a prop to get a new perspective on his towering opponent.
Hey!
After the weigh-ins, former UFC middleweight champion Michael Bisping was on stage for a Q&A session, and he said that new Liverpool card might be the perfect spot for his final UFC appearance.
Next event is going to be in Liverpool. Can we expect to see you there?
These guys are excited. I think we've got a few Scousers over there. Obviously, that's not too far from where I'm from. What is the date for that?
May.
May?
Early May.
You never know. I may.
Meanwhile, UFC women's flyweight Paige Vanzant was also part of the Q&A session, but she then also spoke to reporters backstage. Vanzant, who said she wants to be a champion in 2018, admits she hasn't watched current title holder Nico Montano compete, but does have plenty of respect for current #1 contender Valentina Shevchenko.
You know, I'm going to be totally honest, I didn't see the flyweight champion. I haven't seen her fight before, but I do know how talented Valentina is, and I know that she's beaten Joanna 3 times in kickboxing, I believe, so, and she's, you know, she's beaten Holly Holmes, and, you know, she's very, very talented and a very scary fighter, but at the same time, everybody's beatable. So I'm going to go into this fight watching it as a fan and a fellow competitor, and, you know, it is my division, so I'm going to go in and watch it as the potential competition, so I'm going to watch both of them.
So that's it. Pre-fight activities are a wrap, and all that's left is the fighting. The O2 in London plays host to Saturday's UFC Fight Night 127 Verdum vs. Volkov event, which streams live on UFC Fight Pass. MMA Junkie will have full coverage from here on the ground in England.